Released in 1956, The Ten Commandments brought audiences to one of the most epic and classic works in Hollywood history. The story unfolds in ancient Egypt when Moses, the adopted prince of Pharaoh's court, discovers his true identity. A Hebrew slave oppressed. From a man living in luxury, he must face a harsh choice between the power of the palace and the mission to liberate his people. That journey is not only a rebellion of those in chains, but also a journey of faith marked by earth-shattering miracles. The Nile turning to blood, the Red Sea parting, and the 10 plagues descending upon Egypt. The Ten Commandments is not merely a religious film, but a saga about faith, the desire for freedom, and the strength of human will against challenges. With its massive production scale, grand scenes, and renowned cast like Charlton Heston's, Seeley Deal's work became a golden milestone in world cinema. And, you know, behind that majestic exterior are countless strange backstage stories. From disputes over staging the dangers of filming disaster scenes to secrets never revealed during the filmmaking process. Join me to explore the most shocking and fascinating truths about the Ten Commandments, the masterpiece that turned Moses' journey into an immortal silver screen icon. 1. A venomous snake escaped and turned the set into chaotic hell. In the Ten Commandments, snakes appear in many scenes as symbols of death and power. The set was thus no stranger to these fearsome creatures. But for Deal, artificial effects were never enough. He wanted audiences to see real venom for every frame to exude the danger of the Bible. And so the crew decided to bring a live king, Cobra, into the scene where Moses' staff turns into a snake. At first, it slithered slowly across the sand, scorching lights shining on its glossy scales, creating a chilling, breathtaking frame. Hundreds of eyes were glued to the deadly creature awaiting an immortal cinematic moment. But tragedy struck unexpectedly. The Cobra escaped control. It darted toward the camera, slithering through wires and blazing lights. In an instant, the set turned into hell. Screams echoed everywhere. Extras threw down props. Crew members scrambled to escape. Some tripped, others nearly got tangled in the chaotic cables. Sweat, sand, and fear mingled into an unprecedented chaos. It took nearly an hour to recapture the snake, restoring a fragile calm. From that moment, no one dared challenge Venom again. But when the danger passed, another secret emerged from the seemingly harmless popcorn. 2. The chilling Death Angel scene due to a terrifying secret in the fog. Do you get chills watching the green mist slowly crawl across the Egyptian floor in the Ten Commandments like I do? In that moment, audiences fell into a creeping sense of death, a vague horror no one could explain. For hidden in that fog, Deal and the technical team embedded a shocking detail, the image of a real human skull. No one in the theater could point and say, "I see it," but the human eye unconsciously registered its cold outline. The result was fear spreading not from a clear image but from a subconscious dread. Audiences shuddered their chests heavy hearing the echoing cries because they were looking at death crafted from reality, not just cinematic effects. It was no longer a scene, but an experience touching the deepest instincts where humans face death directly. And if a ghostly image could instill such dread, imagine the horror when the entire set faced a living, venomous creature. 3. The director nearly lost his life, falling from a ladder dozens of meters high on set. The filming scene of the Ten Commandments in 1955 was a colossal world in the desert where thousands of extras crowded in vibrant costumes, scorching lights beaming down on burning sand. High above Cecil B. Deal, Hollywood's king of epics, stood firm on a 40-meter iron ladder megaphone in hand eyes observing every detail. At 73, when he should have been retired, he embraced the ambition to create the greatest work of his life. But in that moment of authority, his heart betrayed him. A severe chest pain made Deal collapse, nearly falling off the ladder to the horror of the entire crew. They rushed him to the hospital where the doctors sternly declared, "If you continue, you will
as the
die.
film became an
But
immortal
Diehl
monument,
only gave a
loved by
faint smile,
millions of viewers.
saying he'd rather collapse
But
on
if that
set
story
than live
made
in
the
incom
entire crew
completion.
shudder, what
And
was
true to his
hidden in the
word,
mist of
just
Egypt
2 days
would
later,
haunt even
the aging
more.
director returned his
4.
voice
Darling
booming
Audrey
through the
Hepburn
megaphone,
was rejected
commanding
for a
the
single
cinematic army
physical
like a
detail.
general who
Do
refused
you
defeat.
admire and love Audrey Hepburn,
The shadow
the
of death
epitome of
passed
Hollywood
by,
elegance,
but it couldn't
like
stop the
millions
raging
worldwide?
ambition named the Ten
But behind that
Commandments.
radiance,
That
Hepburn
boldness was
tasted
ultimately
bitter
rewarded as the
rejection.
film became an
When
immortal
DeMille
monument
sought a
loved
face
by
for
millions
Princess
of viewers.
Nefertiti, her name
But if
was
that
considered.
story made the entire
Hepburn walked into the
crew
audition
shudder,
with clear
what was hidden
eyes,
in the
a
midst of
gentle
Egypt
smile,
would
and a
haunt
demeanor
even
that
more.
silenced the room.
4.
But
Darling
in DeMille's
Audrey
secret
Hepburn was
notebook,
rejected
a
for a
cold
single
note
physical
appeared
detail.
lovely, but
Do you
not
admire
enough
and
figure.
love Audrey
That
Hepburn?
not enough
The
was
epitome
a
of
verdict on her
Hollywood
slender
elegance
frame,
like
her
millions
bust too small
worldwide.
to fill the
But
heavy
behind that
beaded and
radiance,
pearl-laden
Hepburn
costumes
tasted
the
bitter
director
rejection.
wanted for a seductive,
When Diehl sought a
powerful
face for
queen.
Princess
The
Nefertiti,
role
her name
ultimately
was
went
considered.
to Anne Baxter,
Hepburn
who
walked
had
into
the
the audition
sufficient
with
figure
clear
to
eyes,
embody
a gentle
Egypt's
smile,
desire
and a demeanor
power.
that silenced the
Hepburn
room.
quietly left,
But in
while
Dee's
outside
secret notebook,
thousands
a
of
cold
stone
note appeared
tablets
lovely,
bearing the Ten
but not
Commandments
enough
were
figure.
erected across America.
That not enough was a
5.
verdict
The
on her
terrifying
slender
hailstorm
frame.
actually
Her
came from a
bust,
familiar
too
snack.
small to fill the heavy
Audiences in
beaded and pearl-laden
1956
costumes the
sat
director
stunned in
wanted for a
theaters
seductive,
as the
powerful
hailstorm
queen.
plague struck Egypt.
The role
The sky
ultimately
blackened,
went to
thunder
Anne
tore
Baxter,
through, and
who had the
white
sufficient
chunks
figure
fell,
to embody
blanketing
Egypt's
Pharaoh's
desire
palace.
and power.
Everyone believed they were witnessing
Hepburn
heaven's
quietly
wrath,
left while
an
outside thousands of stone
unprecedented
tablets
cinematic
bearing the Ten
but the
Commandments
truth
were
behind
erected
that
across
scene
America.
made many laugh. All those hailstones
5.
were just
The
painted
terrifying
popcorn.
hailstorm actually
The technical
came from a
team under
familiar
pressure to
snack.
create a grand
Audiences in
disaster while
1956
keeping
sat
actors safe
stunned in
came up with
theaters.
using popcorn.
As the hail-torn
The light
plague
grains
struck
fell
Egypt,
without
the
causing
sky
pain,
blackened,
could be thrown
thunder
at
tore
actors
through,
multiple
and white
times
chunks
without
fell,
injury.
blanketing
More
Pharaoh's
importantly,
palace.
after each take,
Everyone
the crew
believed
simply
they were
swept
witnessing
them up,
heaven's wrath,
gathered them,
an
and
unprecedented
reused them.
cinematic miracle.
Combined with
But the truth
vibrant
behind that
Technicolor
scene
lighting
made many
and
laugh.
layered thunder
All those
effects,
hailstones were
harmless
just painted popcorn.
became the weapon
The
of
technical
the
team,
gods.
under pressure to
And if
create a grand
popcorn could make
disaster
the
while
world
keeping
believe
actors
in
safe,
miracles,
came
wait
up
to
with
see
using
what material
popcorn.
created the Red
The
Sea
light
wonder.
grains fell
6.
without,
The Red Sea
causing
miracle
pain
was
could be
built
thrown at
from an
actors multiple
unexpectedly
times without
sticky
injury.
material.
More
The moment
importantly,
Moses
after
raised his
each
staff,
take, the
sea
crew simply
parted into
swept them
2
up,
towering
gathered
walls
them,
of water.
and reused them.
Millions of viewers
Combined with
gasped,
vibrant
eyes glued to the
Technicolor lighting
screen.
and layered
This
thunder
scene went
effects,
down in history,
harmless
hailed as
popcorn
the
became the
pinnacle
weapon of the
cinematic
gods.
wonders.
And
But in
if
reality, there were
popcorn
no
could make
computers,
the world
no
believe in
CGI,
miracles,
only bold
wait to see what
imagination
material
and a
created the Red Sea
sticky
wonder.
material.
6.
The technical
The
team
Red
built
Sea
2
miracle
giant
was built
tanks
from an
filled with water
unexpectedly
mixed
sticky
with gelatin
material.
to thicken it.
The moment
Then
Moses
release the
raised his
liquid like a
staff,
flood.
the sea parted into
When
2
played in
towering
reverse,
walls of
audiences
water.
saw the sea
Millions
part
of
water
viewers gasped,
standing as
eyes
towering
glued
waves,
to the screen.
dust
And
rising
this scene
as if
went down in
blown by
history,
divine wind.
hailed as the pinnacle
6
of
months
cinematic
preparation,
wonders.
dozens
But in
of
reality,
tests, all
there were
for
no
a scene
computers,
lasting
no
less than 10
CGI,
minutes.
only bold
But that
imagination
scene
and a sticky
defined
material.
what a cinematic
The
miracle
technical
is.
team built 2
And while
giant tanks filled with water
audiences
mixed with
trembled
gelatin to
before that
thicken it,
grandeur, a
then released the
cold
liquid like a
decision
flood.
backstage
When
robbed
played
the
in reverse,
darling Audrey
audiences
Hepburn
saw the
of
sea
her
part water
chance.
standing as towering
7.
waves,
Over 4,000
dust
stone
rising
tablets
as if
across
blown
America
by divine
unexpectedly
wind.
became a
6
historic
months of
lawsuit.
preparation,
No one in
dozens
the
of
1950s
tests,
could have
all for a
imagined that
scene
a
lasting
film
less than
promotion
10
campaign
minutes.
would leave a
But
legal
that scene
legacy
defined what a
lasting half
cinematic
century.
miracle is.
Paramount
And while
DeMille
audiences
spent
trembled
money
before that
erecting
grandeur,
over
a cold
$4,000.
decision
The Ten
backstage
Commandments
robbed the
stone
darling Audrey
tablets
Hepburn
across
of her
America.
chance.
In
7.
park squares, even
Over
in front of
4,000
courthouses
stone
and
tablets
government
across
buildings.
America
For
unexpectedly
DeMille,
became a
it wasn't
historic
just
lawsuit.
promotion, but a
No one
statement.
in the 1950s could have
The Ten
imagined that a film
Commandments
promotion
is the
campaign would leave a legal
foundation
legacy
of moral
lasting
freedom.
half a century.
But those seemingly
Paramount and
immovable
Diehl
stones
spent money
became a
erecting
spark
over
for fierce
$4,000.
controversy.
The Ten Commandments stone
Constitutional
tablets across
protection
America in
groups
park
argued
squares,
they violated
even
the
in front of
principle of
carousas and
separation of
government
church and
buildings.
state.
For Diehl,
In
it wasn't just
2005,
promotion,
one such
but a
tablet in
statement
Texas, was
The Ten
brought to the US
Commandments is the
Supreme
foundation
Court,
of moral
becoming a
freedom.
nationwide
But
shock.
those seemingly
The
immovable
result,
stones
the
became a
tablet
spark
was
for
allowed to
fierce
stay for its
controversy.
cultural, not
Constitutional
purely
protection
religious
groups argued
value.
they violated
A
the
film
principle
campaign
of separation of
unintentionally
church and
etched its
state.
name into
In
American legal
2005,
history.
one such tablet
While
in Texas
those
was
stones
brought to the
stood
U.S.
firm
Supreme
through the
Court,
years in
becoming a
California,
nationwide
a
shock.
young metal band
The
found
result, the tablet was
inspiration to
allowed
write
to
an
stay for its
immortal
cultural,
song.
not purely religious
Casual
value.
movie viewing gave
The film
birth to
campaign
Metallica's
unintentionally
legendary
etched its
song.
name into American legal
1983,
history.
in a small
While those
California
stones
house,
stood
three
firm through the
Metallica
years in
guys
California,
crowded around a TV
a young metal
playing a
band
VHS
found
of the
inspiration
Ten
to write an
Commandments.
immortal song.
The screen's green glow
8.
lit their faces
A
as the
casual
Death
movie
Angel
viewing
scene
gave
played the
birth
eerie
to
mist,
Metallica's
crawling
legendary
slowly
song.
seeping into
In
Egyptian
1983,
homes, taking
in a small
firstborn
California
lives.
house, 3
Cliff Burton, the
Metallica
bassist,
guys
suddenly
crowded around a
blurted,
TV
"It's
playing
like
a
creeping
VHS
death."
of the Ten Commandments.
That phrase was
The
like
screen's
lightning
green
in the
glow
room.
lit their faces
James
as the Death
Hetfield and
Angel
Lars
scene
Ulrich
played the eerie
instantly
mist
saw it
crawling
as the
slowly
seed
seeping
for a
into
new
Egyptian
song.
homes,
And
taking
from that
firstborn
spontaneous
lives.
moment, creeping
Cliff
death was
Burton,
born,
the
a
bassist,
track
suddenly
retelling
blurted,
the biblical
"It's like
plagues
creeping
with
death."
thrash metal's fierce
That phrase
voice.
was like lightning
On
in the room.
stage, thousands
James
of fans
Hetfield and
screamed,
Lars
"Die,
Ulrich
die," to the
instantly
chorus,
saw it as the
as if
seed for a new
witnessing
song.
Egypt's plagues
And from that
themselves.
spontaneous moment,
1956
Creeping Death
film
was born a track
unwittingly
retelling the
planted
biblical
seed
plagues
for a
with thrash
legendary
metal's fierce voice.
1984 song.
On
While
stage,
music
thousands of
stirred young
fans
hearts in
screamed,
Hollywood,
"Die,
the Egyptian
die"
princess's
to the
face
chorus,
sparked
as
an
if witnessing
endless debate.
Egypt's plagues
9.
themselves.
The Egyptian
A
princess's
1956
face caused
film
heated Hollywood
unwittingly planted the
controversy.
seed for a
When
legendary
Anne Baxter appeared
1984
as
song.
Princess Nefertiti,
While
the
music
entire
stirred young
theater
hearts in
fell
Hollywood,
silent.
the Egyptian
Her sharply
princess's
lined
face
eyes,
sparked an
fiery
endless
red
debate.
lips, every sensual
9.
curve made
The
viewers
Egyptian
forget
princess's
they were
face
watching a
caused
biblical
heated
film.
Hollywood controversy.
For DeMille, it
When
was
Anne
the
Baxter
perfect
appeared as
choice,
Princess
a symbol
Nefertiti,
of seduction,
the entire
both
theater
alluring
fell
and
silent.
dangerous.
Her sharply
But
lined
for many
eyes,
conservative
fiery red
religious
lips,
groups,
every
it was an
sensual
insult.
curve made viewers
They
forget they were
argued
watching a
Baxter's
biblical
sultry
film.
gaze and
For
sly
Deal,
smile
it
turned
was
the
the
character
perfect
too
choice.
worldly,
A.
breaking the